Welcome to our podcast. All opinions expressed on this show are those of the individuals on the show and do not reflect the views of any other organizations. We own most of the rights to all of the music and interviews on this podcast under ASCAP. All rights belong to Earlymorningmob, LLC, and the respective owner. We do not, however, own most of the clips used on this podcast and is for fair use educational purposes. All rights belong to the respective owners, which credit will be given. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and for artist and brand promotion and should not be taken as professional advice. Welcome to the Mobcast.
Early Morning Mob.
Non-stop. In the mix.
Down there in one of those catacombs.
Early Morning Mob.
Thoughts and opinions are of the artist and solely of the host themselves, and is to bring free thought of live and to showcase local artists and Early Morning Mob themselves. Thanks for tuning in to Early Morning Mob.
3, 2, 1.
Non-stop. In the mix.
They're having trouble getting the moments being watched so quick.
Drum. Everyone listens.
Just got a lot more fun. Thanks for listening.
What is your profession?
Early morning mob. Mob. Yeah. Capo fettuccine. How many streets? Yeah, Rocky Roll. ZD bowls and garlic rolls. Whip it how I whip it.
Early Morning Mob.
Non-stop. In the mix.
Like it, I'll drop it.
Down there in one of those catacombs.
A lot of people want to send blankets or water. Just send your cash.
The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
So let's get it in with another interesting Mobcast. Today's dailies are brought to you by Mr. Wheels with a Z. That's WHEELZ 1990. Wheels 1990. That's Taylor Hittner. Taylor Hittner, the comedian that won our little Early Morning Mob contest. And we're going to have another one in September. So today's daily is brought to you by Tyler Hittner, Wheels 1990. Go check him out. And today, brought to you by Anonymous. Today's quote is, "Many fine things can be done in a day if you don't always make that day tomorrow." Affirmation of the day, excuse me. I am proud of myself. And then musical, this one's a little smaller. We're going to have to blow this one up so you boy can see it. Listen to other people's songs. Focus on songwriters with works that are considered classics as well as big hits of today. Study their works and try to reverse engineer. Let's get it in with some interesting interviews and music blends you won't hear anywhere else on the Mobcast. So let's get it in with today's under 2 minute, or just about 2 minute with my little take. Musical clip, a breakdown. This one is with my man Busy Work Beats. So let's go check out Busy Work Beats on YouTube and give him some love. And this one is Make Music for the Love.
Giving something of themselves to the other. So for example, an easy way to understand this is if you and your mate have a car, it's like you allowing your mate to drive your car and then them allowing you to drive their car. Okay, it's when somebody of themselves gives up something of themselves to the other and then vice versa. And that creates the strongest bond. And this is what you want to create with your audience. You want to give your audience something, but they also give something in return. So they're both invested into the long-term relationship that you're building through business. And so the law of love is that there's a balance. There's a giving and there's a receiving. Okay, there's equalness of back and forth. Now, what most people lie to you about, now this is going to be the shocking part of this whole video, is that they tell you to follow your passion. If you look up the etymology for passion, it actually says to suffer. Okay, so go look up the etymology, type in etymology dictionary and type in the word passion. It actually means to suffer. It does not mean pleasure. It does not mean love.
Yeah, we all know.
So when people are telling you,
let's pause Mr. Busy Work Beats for 1 second. And as we look at some of the greatest artists in history of all different types, including painting artists like Van Gogh, many of them have not been or were not discovered till way after their demise, if you will.
it's for your passion and they don't pay you on these music gigs and in the music industry, for example, because we recently did a series where I broke down the music industry, how they're taking advantage of producers and artists. If they want you to do all this out of your own passion, what they're doing is manipulating your desire to become something, and they're forcing you to suffer through your passion without any exchange. Remember, love is an exchange. So I want you to operate out of love, but most people misinterpret what love actually means. Love is a balanced exchange. Okay, it doesn't mean everything's for free. It means you give something in order to receive something. You receive something so that you can give something. Whereas these people in the music industry are telling you to do it out of your passion, thinking that you're supposed to just give all this energy to the music industry and never get anything in return. That's actually abusing the definition of love, and that's actually forcing you into suffering, which is actually manipulating your affinity, we call it. So I want to get into some scientific terms. There's something called affinity in chemistry. And
affinity also in music as well. That's the loop. And that's why sometimes that perfect loop catches us.
Is when this, think about your body right now. Your body is a machine of chemical reactions. They're always happening at every millisecond of the day. Now, what tells this chemical to move to this chemical? What is the thing in between telling them to come together to bond? It's something called affinity. This is the God force, I'll say. This is magnetism. You can't have two things combined without magnetism. But the caveat to this is that in order to have these two come together and bond, you have to have polarity. Polarity has to exist in order for affinity to exist. I know we're getting philosophical, but think about it. You can't have this object move without both left and right. Okay, if this thing's on your left, and this is on your right, you can't have left and right without up and down. You can't.
Yep, can't have night without day, and so on and so forth. So let's go check out my man Busy Work Beats on YouTube. He does a lot of great tutorials as well for you at-home engineers and producers and whatnot that want to step up your game with that. This one was a little more philosophical, because we're building off of last show with T-Pain that also said, do it for the love. Do it for the love. So let's get in now with our interview of the day, and then we'll get in with some music and music blends. And since our dailies are brought to you by Tyler Hittner, the comedian who won last Early Morning Mob's comedian competition, which we're having another one September 23rd. Here is the interview with Tyler Hittner, and then we'll play just a little bit of his performance, and we'll play some music and music blends here on the Mobcast. Early Morning Mob, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
In the 8 Mile studio, the Eminem found Kim banging that other guy.
Okay, so the story behind this is back in the colder months, I was outside freezing, and they seen me shivering like the little cat in Lady and the Tramp, since we use the since we're on that type of path. And they allowed me to have it, so I've been up here ever since. And honestly, it makes the YouTube videos look better too.
Oh hell yeah!
So.
Hell yeah. We look like we're in a studio.
Yes.
It looks like we're.
Who would have known this is up here as well?
I would have never fucking known.
So how did you get into comedy, and how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing stand-up comedy for 5 years. I started at Mohegan Sun. I never held a microphone before.
Yeah.
First show I ever did was Mohegan Sun for a friend of mine.
Really?
And I've been doing stand-up comedy. I just got back from I did comedy in the Broadway Comedy Club.
Yep.
In New York City.
Yep.
I was there last week, and now I'm here at the Cellar on Treadwell doing a competition.
Do you personally like the smaller venues or the bigger venues?
I like anything. I'm a big energy person. I like energy. I feed off everybody's energy.
Yep.
So like any kind of room that has any kind of energy,
Yeah.
I'm down. I don't care if it's a high school gymnasium. I don't care if it's a stadium. I just.
Yeah. So it's not just the trophy that brought you here today.
It's not just the trophy. It's the energy. It's the everything about it.
Who's your favorite comic?
I like Jim Jeffries a lot. Jim Jeffries is a big hero of mine. Locally, there's this guy named Derek Furtado who means a lot to me, and he taught me a lot. He moved to New York. He's a good friend of mine. Hi, Derek, if you're watching this.
I ask comics. I know of resources for producers like myself. What are the resources out there for comics?
What do you mean by resources?
Is there like YouTube videos for say that you could watch? Is there any help?
I mean, we can all watch. Even like when you and I talk, there's a certain cadence that you could pick up on that's funny.
Yes.
But like as far as comics, I think it's just have a good time, be a good energy, you gotta be good personality. If you have a good personality and you have good energy, good stage presence, material will follow. Likability is 100%.
Personality goes a long way.
Personality goes a long way. Likability goes a long way.
Do you record like little bits and stuff? Do you have?
Of course. I record every set on my watch. As I'm on the microphone, my watch records it. I'll go back and I'll watch where the low points are, where the high points are, where I got to work on. Where a little bit, I call it trimming the way everybody calls it, trimming the fat, is when there's a long joke and you got to trim that joke. So it's set up punch, set up punch, set up punch. Especially in a competition like tonight, where we're doing 6 minutes, I need to get that laugh in that first 3 seconds, or that first 5 seconds.
Yes.
Or else everybody checks out.
Yes.
And I absolutely have elephant in the room. I have a little bit of a, most people call this a handicap, but it's kind of an ability. It's kind of like a...
It could be a superpower.
It's a superpower, man. I'm like Christopher Reeves.
This could definitely be a superpower.
Hell yeah.
I just said I had a hard time myself with all these bags getting up here, and I almost tripped.
That's funny.
So
I wouldn't have felt bad.
Good thing, like I said, it wasn't going down.
I like when strangers come up to me. They're like, "Hey, man, so you got a walker? I broke my ankle last year."
I not feel your pain.
I'm like, yeah, totally comparable.
Same pain, different injury.
Same pain, like jacket. It happens daily.
How about like a comic album? Do you like them? Have you thought about doing them?
Comic albums. Everybody grew up on Adam Sandler. I'm sure you.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Do you remember the Don't Tell? What was
the donkey one's my favorite.
Yes. Yeah. Do you remember the sheep in the bed of the truck? The goat.
No, the goat. That's what I meant to say. Not the donkey. The goat.
The
yes.
goat in the bed of the truck.
Yeah. Go to a big ragu festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Adam Sandler. I want, but I don't really have goals or like a direction in comedy. I'm just taking it show by show. I'm doing about 4 shows a week right now. I'm just taking it show by show. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I'm just,
So my next question on how do you write your material is?
How I write material is life events. So, like tonight, my wife and I, we have a baby. So I'm going to talk about being a dad. And the more, what would you use the word? Like,
personify?
Relatable.
Yes.
The more relatable.
Yes.
Like, I talk about going to handicap camp as a kid. We all been to camp. We were all kids once.
Yep.
We were all, we know what summer camp is. It's
Yep.
easy and it's clean. So I don't have to tailor my material to clean versus dirty. If I'm always clean, I'm safe everywhere I go. I can get hired anywhere.
Yep.
So you got to keep that likability up. You got to keep that.
Again, personality goes up.
Personality goes a long way. When you have an adorable
and energy.
Energy. Oh.
Yeah.
Energy.
That's the premise of my music, by the way.
What kind of music do you make?
I don't like the pigeon toe, but primarily rap for Capo, for Frank.
Okay.
But I lately get into like a hybrid rock type thing.
Okay.
With one of our artists that performs with us.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Like a remember that album? What do you call it?
Kind of like a Linkin Park in a way.
Linkin Park had that album with Jay-Z.
Yeah,
that was
similar.
Sick.
Yeah.
That album was 12 years old. That was sick.
Where do you see? So before there, after COVID, I see a lot of comics. Maybe all the cancel culture. Everybody does. Same with podcasters. What are the challenges that you've dealt with?
I've gotten in trouble. I've gotten lawyers' letters before. I've gotten deep shit before for making jokes about somebody that got their feelings hurt or somebody that I said the R word on stage, which I regret one time, and I got chastised for it because I was like, that's not really punching down. I mean, I'm kind of like disabled.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really. But as far as cancel culture, I understand I understand it. Like I get like why people would be offended or like. it's not usually the people that you think would be offended or offended.
Yes.
You know, the guys that say that they're
Yes.
snowflakes. Are usually the ones
Yeah.
that- I think it all comes down to the whole cancel culture to me comes down to, most of the time, comes down to what would you call that? Like a self-importance level of, I can make fun of you. Perfect example, I had a joke about something that this guy was. Let's just say he was a policeman.
Yep.
I made a joke about being a policeman. So he comes up to me after a show, hot, 55-year-old man, maybe 60, comes up to me hot, and he's like, "Hey man, I didn't like that joke you did about the policeman." I was like, "Hey man, it's just a joke. We're here to have fun." But it was funny to watch you struggle to get up on stage. So I'm like, in the same sentence, you just listen to what you just said.
Yeah, I think people easily get offended, and
Yes.
back in our day, a lot of that stuff built character.
Yes.
I don't talk about it a lot, but I do talk about it. When I was younger, I was in special ed classes myself, so, and yeah, you got made fun of a little bit in the beginning, but also everybody gets made fun of.
Everybody.
And that's like part of the school thing was actually the jokes. Once you realize that you're really not the target, it's kind of funny after a while, you know what I mean?
Very funny.
Next day it's Derek or whoever or Johnny we're going to make fun of, you know what I mean? And you got to up your game with your jokes a little bit.
You know what, too? I was bullied a lot for being disabled through school, and I also have a thing called a startling disorder, where you make a loud noise, I fall down like that.
Okay.
It goes along with my whole situation. Kids used to make fun of me all the time. They would use that against me. They would knock me down. And I feel like that made me quick-witted. I'm very quick-witted as a comedian. And it made me a better comedian, even though it was going through hell in school a little bit. Overall, it polished me up a little bit at the same time.
Have you had many appearances on TV or?
No, none so far.
Okay.
None so far.
So, do you have any YouTube channels?
I have an Instagram, Wheels1990 with a Z. Wheels, WHEELZ, 1990.
That's your main way to find you?
That's my main way. Tyler Hittner on Facebook. I got like 3,000 followers on Instagram. I'm just keep working, keep grinding. I'm just having fun. I'm just having the fun.
Yeah, I had Instagram. I lost the password, so I just restarted one, and it's definitely different algorithms and all that since before. It's such a pain in the ass.
It's so different.
I got like 30 followers now.
You gotta hire an Instagram person. I hired an Instagram girl. She runs it.
Yeah.
And like every post gets like 150 likes.
See?
I'm like, how?
See?
It's a picture of me at the gym. It's not even like a good thing. It's sad, but you're doing it, so.
So I end the little interview thing with like a little funny thing. Do you believe in aliens?
I do believe in aliens.
You want to elaborate a little bit?
I was hoping you would.
Okay, so do you believe in aliens as far as visited here, hasn't visited here?
I think we're all just ancestors of ancient aliens. I think we're like aliens that evolved, dude.
I like that.
I mean, if you think about it, the world's a dinosaur planet, and we're just the mutants that left over.
Yes.
Right?
I like that, yes.
That's true. Think about it. Think about what a baby looks like. It's all top-heavy in front.
Yeah, and we look like tadpoles, I believe, at one point.
We look like
and all that. We
tadpoles.
transform and all that.
And think about, like, every animal is, like, comes out of the mother, and it can, like, self-sustain itself almost.
Yes.
Babies can't for, like, the first...
Even hold their neck, yep.
Right. They can't even hold their neck up. Right.
Do you come up with jokes in the shower or the car?
I do. Shower, I come up with jokes all the time.
Yes.
All the time, I'll come up with a joke in the shower.
It's good quiet time.
Good quiet time, post-nut clarity. You got all that going on, and you can just come up with some really good jokes every time.
Yep. I want to thank you for coming along.
Thank you.
And, so you've been here a while, and I think you're going to go kill it tonight.
I think
good
so.
luck. And the challenge begin.
Yes.
And hopefully we can make it down. Everything's good in the room. As you can see, the casting couch. It's not Bang Bros or any of that.
I like the casting.
Thank you, Tyler, brother.
Hi, I'm Tyler Hittner, a stand-up comedian. You listen to our Early Morning
Mob.
That's all the time I have for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for the fucking help. Fuck you! You didn't even help me! There's no ramp, bitch! So everybody always wants to know why I'm disabled. You guys are a helpful fucking bunch. So the reason why I can't walk is because I got the second COVID shot. Oh shit, I got the Pfizer, I got the Moderna, I woke up like this. That's obviously not true, but I did do that joke in the ghetto, and a woman in the front row goes, "Oh, you were double dipping!" I was like, I was double dipping, now I'm double cripping. Obviously that's not true. I'm not actually disabled. I just identify as a physical burden. Woo! Physical burdens. No, I've been disabled all my life. I fucking love it. When I was a kid, my parents sent me to handicap camp. That's a thing. It was called Camp Shake-a-Leg. I was the alpha handicap of Camp Shake-a-Leg because I can kind of stand up. And my dick still works. Woo, yeah. Oh, I'm going home with you tonight. Do you live on the first floor?
All right. So our little top 7s that we're going to start, and we picked them last week. So here's my 7. Matrix, They Live, Donnie Darko, Pulp Fiction, Clockwork Orange. I like all the X-Men joints. We'll just throw them in there together. Office Space, Reservoir Dogs. Where are we at? 5? Damn, I should have counted. The Warriors was a good movie to me. And also... You know what? I like a good Freddy Krueger movie, so there we go. Top 7 of that. And then I believe the corresponding musical thing was something about samples. Hold on, let me pull that up. The use of sampling in music and its impact on creativity and originality. Well, we all know how I feel about that. I think more importantly, here's my little takeaway from that. With technology, which I hate love, there is already websites, and I think they'll redefine that where maybe it'll be cheaper, better, a win-win for everybody, so that you can now clear the samples that you want to use, thus making the older artists being sampled recognized, getting a little cutty cut. You're able to use your cut, making that track that you want. Damn, I'm hitting the mic. And could possibly be a win-win. Let's do now top 7s of today for next show. So that was movies we did. It was supposed to be shows. Let's do, fuck it, top 7 favorite video games of all time. And then we're also going to do music rant, the impact of technology on the creation and distribution of music. I'm stimming and stammering. So there we go. There's our top 7s of the day.
Open your mind up, you can see it. 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 Open your mind up, you can see it.
Use that Paneo, keep it real with yourself.
China. Early morning mob.
Like when it down, take care of something. You know it sounds great. like this, the Vibe Wave.
Early Morning Mob.
Two different stories.
Early Morning Mob.
On the Vibe Wave, I'm surfing with it.
Early Morning Mob.
Early Morning Mob, we dropping them podcasts, we dropping them beats. We ain't doing songs like that anymore, but music and sounds, just the vibe out with it.
Early Morning Mob. Early Morning Mob.
Capo, of course, and my man Rad.
Early Morning Mob.
That's what you call a party. 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 We got mad smoke, we got mad drinks. Roger back, nigga, if you copy. That's what you call a party. That's what you call a party. We got a DJ, we got a dance floor, and a bunch of sexy bodies. That's what you call a party. That's what you call a party. We got mad smoke, we got mad drinks. Roger back, nigga, if you copy. That's what you call a party. That's what you call a party.
Yo, roger that, we rollin' back, see swollen back, see pumps fast.